Hey, it's another day to trade. It's October 4th, Monday, the start of the week. I'm John Zidar. On behalf of PB Alerts, yes, we're giving you the alert you want, but we got the training you can really put to good use, folks. You're watching On the Top and Hot. I like to do DD every night and share it with you. I go looking for OTC stocks that are going to run, or at least we think they're going to run. They may have a catalyst from the news, a good earnings report. They could just be stuck in a situation like the SEC throwing off 1,300 companies last week for not being current on their financials. Whoa, what happens? Well, those companies get put into limbo until they get their financials and your investment is stuck with them. Can't buy them, can't sell them. It's a bit nerve-wracking. And when they do get their finances caught up and get back on the market, these things are jumping. We have seen thousands of percent, literally tens of thousands, 30, 80,000% gains. No, I'm not kidding. And we're finding them because we're doing our DD. So we made a list this last weekend for today. We're going to go take a look and see how that did. And then we're going to go do some DD and see what we can find for tomorrow. And I'm inviting you to join me. Come on. Now I do all my work on TOS, all of my stock charting, my screeners, my watch list, everything. I do it here on TOS because it's free. That's really why I'm at TD Ameritrade. And you can get it too. Just sign up for an account at TD Ameritrade. It's absolutely free. No, I'm not going to give you an affiliate link. I'm not trying to get anything out of you. Just go sign up. You don't have to spend any money with them. Get the link, download it, and voila, you're doing what I'm doing. Okay. This is the list that we generated over the weekend to watch today. We didn't have a lot of action, but then the day was not very pretty. Friday was a nice surge day on the news of the COVID killer pill by Merck coming out with stats of saving over 50% of the deaths in the hospitals from COVID patients. That was excellent news, and we saw it run on Friday, and I honestly did, that sentiment would carry over to today. The president spoke this morning, I think. Maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. But the fact is, the market fell hard, so we didn't get the action we wanted. RGUS did do something, but you really didn't have an opportunity to get into it. It went 2,400% gains today. Wow, brilliant. It was on the floor when we found it, and that's where it was when it started today. 0001. And it only went to here, folks. That's as far as it went, was right there. 0025. 1/5 of a penny. Would you believe from this line to that line is 2,400% gains? You gotta love OTC penny stocks. A little move can get you a huge gain. Now to put that in perspective, up here roughly is 3 cents where I see a good strong support. It could hit that point easily because it's a means where it's been a lot. From this line to that line is under 1,400%. This is almost double what that is. This is 2,400 and this is 1,400. That's the difference between an extra zero. You buy anything at 000 and take it up to a penny, it's 10,000%. Take it up to 10 cents, that's 100,000%. A $100 bill invested here will make you $100,000 at 10 cents. You can see here at 0001 to 1/5 of a penny made 2,400%. So $100 made you $2,400. Just like that. That's the love of OTC. We did have another gainer today that was on our list, FMBV. We looked at this one because not only did it have this high bubble, low bubble from corner to corner, which is always a good sign. This is 4 hours, 6 months, so it's been growing for 6 months. But we see how little the trade is back here and how little the bounces. Then the bounces started getting a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger, and we saw this on the floor. Right there, it had taken this huge bounce and fallen all the way back down, and it just made sense to me that with this chart, the way it lays out and the way it looked, it was going to bounce back up. So we put it on the chart, and it did. Now, it didn't go the full amount. I was thinking this would go about 100%. It went 50%. It did jump 50% today, and I think it's got more to give. I think it may do it the hard way, but I do believe it's got more to give. Do I think it's a runner? No, I don't think it's a runner, but I think it could give you another 50 to 150%. And that's going to depend. Both RGUS and FMBV, I can't remember if they were current or if these are limited going current. And if they're limited still, then that means that there is still catalyst to drive them forward. Lease was the other one. It did have gains today. You can see it's had some excellent gains here in a short term. Hit a low bubble here and just took off from there. Let's come in on the 5 minutes so you got a better look at what happened. About 1:30 in the afternoon, she hit her high of almost, what was that? If you went from 1 to 4, about 50% gains. And then it fell all the way back down here to 15%, which is almost virtually where she opened. So she gave it all away. And the rest of them, we had SNGY and TGMR, which are both on the expert markets. They have filed all of their paperwork. As far as I remember, we were waiting for the door to open and them to be allowed back into the open market. As soon as that happens, the prices were going to jump. And if I remember correctly, I have to go all the way back because they won't give you charts close up since there's no data. We're down here at 002. And back here was a high of $2. That, my friends, is a 1,000,000% gain. Stupid to say it. I know. So put it into reality. Right here. Boom, 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 boom. You can see that that's a standard place. What is that? That is 4 cents. No, that's 15 cents. From 0002 to 15 cents is 70,000, 75,000%, folks. From here to right there. Right there. So if 1,000,000% sounds too ridiculous to you, can you see this jumping from 0002 to its old low of 15 cents? That's why this is on our list. But you can't put in a GTC order, good till canceled. They won't take your order because it's not on the open market. So you have to wait for it to come on the open market. Same goes with TGMR. Another one on the basement floor, 0004. You can see it has an average here, right there, of 10 times more. So that's 1,000% if we just go to there. And of course, there's a ceiling up here of 94 cents, folks. 94 cents. We are talking something like 30,000, 40,000. I'm not sure. Don't hold me to these numbers. These are huge numbers we don't normally toss around. But obviously, it is huge. If it decides to jump there in one day, you gotta be ready. And this is another one of those that you have to get in on a limit order. All OTC stocks must be put in on a limit order. You got to choose a price, and if you're playing a bouncer, you got to put your price ahead of what the price is and not real close, because if it's going to jump real fast, you can't get your price in fast enough when the bell rings to catch that. So you got to have your price really up there. When it's this low, I will actually put in my price at 004 and be 10 times more. And many times that's still not enough. It'll just blow right by me and I don't get a chance to buy it. But that is the game, and you got to give it a shot at 20, 30, 50, 80,000% gains. Oh my God. Okay, so the rest, not so much today. Nothing really to brag about. You can see they've had gains, which is why we've been looking at them. They've had some strong bounces, but today they did not perform for us very well. Okay, we're going to go do some DD, and I want to look at RGUS and FMBV and see if these guys have gone up yet. I'm betting they haven't. And see their status, and then we'll jump in and find some new ones. And this is where I do all my DD. OTCmarkets.com. You hear me say that all the time. I'm going over to the OTC markets. And you say, what is he talking about? It's an actual site. It's an official site. They're not interested in your clicks. They're not interested in looking pretty. This is an official site that FINRA and the SEC use to house all of the filings, all of the financials, stock information, any pertinent information the investors need to know about an OTC stock is here. Why go searching all around the internet looking for information that may be outdated or wrong? Come to where they're fishing, right here. Okay, first thing we're going to look at is how the day ended on the OTC market. It was a better day considering how rough it was on the major markets. we did actually a lot better than we have been. Now remember, when you look at these numbers up here for the end of the day, I don't care if you've been on this page all day and looked at 200 different pages. These numbers do not change unless you refresh the page manually. So we did a great $2.5 billion today. We did $2.4 billion the other day, a few days ago. We are starting to lift up. We have been at $2 billion for, I can't even remember how long. We've just been stuck there and it hasn't been helping. Our share count is incredible today, folks. 49 billion shares. The other day we were at 39 billion, which I was excited about because we've been under 30. And 30 is a slow day, so you know how bad it's been. And our trades, we're about ready to break a $500 million. We were under 300,000 trades. Folks, you can't get any trade action and money flowing unless you have people spending it. So we need a crowd of people. So this is good. A $500 million trades. You know we're getting a crowd of people in there now. So I'm excited to see the OTC market is showing signs of growth again. Okay, we're going to start this DD off by going to the most active page. And I am going to search stocks that have had the most trades. You can come here and search all the stocks on the OTC market. This shows negative and positive, and you can search them by how much money was put into them, how many shares were sold, or how many trades. But as I said, this is positive and negative. I like to look just at the positive, so they broke it down here for us. And the advancers are here. Now we can look at stocks over $1, over a nickel, or just look at all of them. I'm going to just look at all of them because, well, I don't want to miss anything. Hit that right there. Now this is going to show us every stock on the market and how much they did today in percentage gains. And these double black diamonds are on the expert market. The expert market is where stocks go when they're not allowed to be on the open market, but they haven't been delisted yet. It's a timeout. It's a penalty box. They're thrown in there until they fix whatever it is they got to fix. And lots of them have been thrown over there because they're late on financials. And they can't come out until they catch up on the financials. You can't buy them, you can't sell them. And in many cases, maybe not many, but often, you will find there is a skull and crossbones attached to an expert market. Skull and crossbones is a warning, folks. That's caveat emptor. Buyer beware. So don't play around with them. Just forget about those guys. They stink. Don't get close. Now, I'm going to be looking at pinks and the yield signs, which is limited information. The reason I'm not going to look at these is because, as I said, they're untradeable. Now, when I go look over at the filings and I see a double diamond, they may have just filed and may be coming on the market. That I will look at. But over here, just because they're running, these guys are trading off the market between brokers and marketeers, and we got nothing to do with it. We can't play that game. So I'm not going to waste my time. Well, folks, this is really interesting. I am all the way down here now at 40%. And I've been looking at the ones that have high numbers in them. And I keep seeing the same thing over and over. I can't find any catalysts here on OTC market. No filings, no news. I look at the charts and it really isn't set up. It looks like they had a climb and then a drop. Not a serious one, but they fell back. And it seems when I go to Twitter to get any extra information from the 1,000 eyes that are looking everywhere, what I'm seeing is people watching the technicals. They're watching volume plays. They are watching price action. And as soon as they move, which makes it move more. And then they start hyping it up with predictions of this is going to here and this is going to there. It's jumped over all the SMAs. It looks good for a runner. And that's what's got most of them running. So I am not going to be able to probably find any more today over on this list. So I am now going to jump over to news. Sorry I couldn't find it, but what are you going to do? Now I'm not actually going to look at the news. I'm going to look at the financial reports and we're going to see what I can find over here. Now I am looking for companies that are either skull and crossbones or yield signs. Those that are in a financial disclosure crisis. They haven't got them in time and are in danger of being yanked off the market. These are the ones that are running the hardest. These are the ones that I am finding the biggest gains on, and I hope to find some for us now. So we'll be looking at the period ending here and try to stay within 2021, the last 2 quarters. And we're going to be looking for as many filings as we can and that attorney letter. The attorney letter is an absolute. All the filings in the world make no difference until you have an attorney letter approve it. Then it counts. With that attorney letter comes the on-light and then the action. So that's what we're going to be looking for. Okay, we're going to zoom in on VHLD. You can see they've had a couple today. There is an attorney letter for the very last quarter. This is potentially a good one. So let's go take a look and see what we got over here for Vector 21 Holdings. 13 cents, lost 67% today, dropped 67%. They're in good shape. They've got a transfer agent verified profile and our pink limited. We want them to go current. So that's what we're looking for in these filings. We have an attorney letter today for 2021 on the last quarter. And we actually have the last quarter put in today. Geez, how many filings do they have? Let's see here. All right, so they did, looks like they had to do amended, right. So this could be good. Looks like they had a problem, had to fix it. And from what I could see, they did a bounce over this. A bounce that we can take advantage of. You've seen it drop 67% today. Right. Let's see what sort of volume they had. No volume today. That's going to be interesting. I'm not sure what that means. And you can see the volume was less than 1,000 before. We look at a lot of stocks that have very low volume. But when they go current or when they come off the expert market, people jump in because there's now hope. The light is lit. So that's a little interesting to me. I'm surprised to see there's no activity today. And what about the share structure? What do we got there? Oh my God, folks. Holy cow. We got 500 million authorized, only 1.6 million. 1.6 million outstanding. That is all the shares for insiders, all the management, all the institutions, and me and you. And for me and you, they give us, and this was just updated 3 days ago, so we know it's right, 209,000 shares. Folks, do you know if this thing runs, they're going to run out of shares so fast that this could skyrocket. This could. I like the way this is setting up. I don't know what it's going to do, but the math is great. So I like the bounce that I had seen. Now that I see this, I'm excited, folks. So let's go take a look at VLHD. And I'll be honest, I have not done a whole lot of looking at this chart at all. So this is VHLD 6 month and 5 minute. Actually, that is the 15 minute, but it really doesn't make any difference. It looks the same. What I want to show you is the bounce. It was at 40 cents here, folks. 40 cents and it fell. Boom. Right down to 13 cents. Now these have a habit of coming right back to where they were. So the chance of this going right back there is really good. So that's like a 300% gain right there. What is the buy right now? Shoot. They want 85 cents for this, folks. Where was that 85 cents? Now don't count any of the ask or the bids off hours as concrete. That is left from me and you. If I put 85 cents in mine and just left it there because I didn't want anyone to borrow my shares to short them, I'd put them in the queue for sale at an ungodly price that nobody's going to actually bid. And I know my shares are safe and they're not going to be borrowed to be shorted. At least that's what I've been taught. So we've got some huge bounces here. There are some huge bounces, and you can see they're getting bigger, and there seems to be some excitement going on. Now, I know nothing about this company. This is where more DD can come into play. This could end up being a play for something important. I don't know. But for a 300% jump, I'm going to throw it on here. VHLD, it has a super duper low float. I cannot remember the last time I seen a float that small. 206,000 shares. All they got to do is sell 1 million shares, and that's 5 times more shares than they have. And that's going to create a supply and demand that you're going to love if you're in this. The next one I want to take a look at is Repo. They do exactly what the name sounds like. They go around repossessing vehicles and property. They have an attorney letter in today, and they have a couple of other earmarkings that make it interesting to look at. They are at 10 cents, virtually 11 cents right now, had 20% gains today, and they cover all the bases with Pink Limited, Verified, and their transfer agent. Say they're a shell company. They've had a gain today, as I said. They have also had their attorney letter come out, along with the quarterly report, the last one for this year. So they're about ready to go current. Let's see what sort of share structure they've got over here. Let me see. First off, we got the volume here. Volume was 134,000 compared to 101 on a regular days. So she is doing more today than usual. And that share structure, alrighty, we got 195 million in the float, 152 million outstanding, but only a mere 15 million in the float, folks. Another low float. Low floats give you big bounces. Maybe not a big surge, but one nice big bounce, and that can be very healthy for your pocketbook. Okay, let's go take a look at Repo and see what we can find on the chart. So Repo had a not too bad of a day considering the volume that she did. She is pushing up. It wasn't her high of the day, but she is pushing up. Everything is up. She's even above 60 on the RSI on the 5-minute. But you can see trading is low. She hit a low bubble for this time period just a while ago. So what is it I like? Well, I like this. I like that huge giant bounce here, and I have no idea what that's about. DD will tell you. That is June 30th to July 2nd. Whatever happened there. And you can see it fell. And it gave it all back away, and it is now trying to come back up. I see that her MACD and RSI are over 62. But what intrigues me is that bounce. You can't ignore that bounce. And what I like to do is take a serious bounce and find the midpoint of it. This goes up to 36, and it started at 20. So that brings a middle point of 24, right about there. That is about where I would expect a ceiling to be for a big bounce. So that would give you about 250%. Now it could hit here. These price points here are strong. They do go across, and that would give you about 70 to 80% gains if it only reached there. So I'm going to throw that on the list because I think that is at least worth watching. Who's going to turn away 80% gains? I am going through so many here that just haven't got anything really interesting. They've got all the paperwork in. They could be going current, but the price action just hasn't got anything really appealing. Did find one here that looks pretty good. HDII. HDII is at just about 2 cents right now. They are late. Pink limited. Everything else is good. They got a verified profile and transfer agent. Come down here, you can see that they have no new news. News is old. However, they have been putting in filings. What they aren't putting in is the attorney letters. They've got filings here for 2019, 2020, 2021, both quarters, but they don't have, and even have an amendment, but we're still waiting for those attorney letters. Once those attorney letters come in, this could jump. Now, what sort of share structure do we have on it? Looks to be about 149 million. Nothing spectacular about the shares. And what about volume? Well, her average volume is 1.7 million shares a day. Today, she did 5.1 million, about 500% increase in her volume. So let's go take a look at this chart and see what she has to present us. So the charts don't look too bad. You know, you got your short chart, 5-minute, 5-day, low on this corner, high on that corner. It's gaining all the way. We like that. That's promise. And I like it high on this corner and low on that corner because that presents opportunity for recovery. Now we can see a big spurt of growth right here since the 27th. So it was just last week when they started putting in their filings. And now they've only got one filing left to get in, it looks like, is that attorney letter, which should cause more excitement because it gets them out of the danger zone and makes them totally clear. So where do we think it'll go? Well, it's already hit this support right there across all of these. Let me back this out a little bit. Let's go to 20 days. Nah, you can't even see it on 20 days. It's further back than that. How about a month? No! Holy cow. All right, back to 6 hours. So you can see I spitballed that, but across the top of these where the price comes up, hits, stops, and comes back down. That's a resistance. There's a wall there. And if you can get on top of it, it becomes that support. We've already broke through that one. That is a very good sign. So where is the next one? Well, it looks like it's about somewhere here. All right, let me back this out a little bit. I just spitballed that on the small one. About right there. So that takes us to about 24 cents. Or, I'm sorry, 0.024. Hate them zeros. Actually, I love them zeros. Don't get me wrong. Them zeros are good to us. So there's only about a 50% gain if it jumps to there. Now, there's no telling where it's going to jump, but I mean, this is all the way back in February. Is it going to hit February highs, the stimulus month that had all the free money? Probably not. So I don't expect more than a 50% gain on this, but I'm going to throw it up here because I won't throw away 50%. I'll take that every single day. All right, folks, this has not been a good day for DD. I'm glad I didn't drag you along. I am looking at a lot of junk. I'm not saying the companies are junk, the setups are junk, the opportunities are junk. I can't find anything here that really is setting up. And while I got all the way down to the bottom of this board, I'm on Saturday now, and I've already gone through these on Saturday, so there's no need to go any further. So I'm going to move down here to SEC filings, and right at the top I see one that catches my interest, HPIL Holdings. They got an 8K. An 8K is a gold mine of information, or at least it can be. These are material change filings. Now, it could just be that they're telling you they've put out a press release about something important, or that they've hired or fired somebody, which can or cannot be a big deal. But they can also tell you about joint ventures, mergers, big financial dealings that they've done before they hit the press releases. And you're going to find that here on the OTC markets. Now, HPIL is a unique company. This was a company that was like the others we've been looking at. They had a problem being current. Not because of their own doing. This guy picked up the company about 6 months ago, and it had 5 years of bad history, and he had to clean it all up, and that's what they're doing now. And they're at the very end waiting for an attorney letter, or just waiting to go current, I believe it is. But they have been working very hard to get all this done, and have been bringing on incubator companies with new technologies that haven't been seen before. Now, they've got quite an array of subsidiaries. One works with NFTs with famous people, sports stars, movie stars, rock stars. An NFT is a crypto. It's a collectible. You don't buy them for a set price. You auction them. And most are going for hundreds of thousands of dollars because they only make one of each. Not thousands or 10,000s, just one. So if you have it, you're the only one that's got it in the world. But that's not the big deal. They've got another one for gaming online, video games, and you can make money, but that's not it either. Their big deal that I'm interested in is the Apogee D7. That is an electric vehicle. Big deal. Everybody's got an electric car, it seems, these days. What makes this one so unique is it never runs out of juice. It never needs to be charged. It just goes and goes. As long as it's moving, it's charging. Now, I know somebody out there just said, bull, because the science doesn't exist. That can't be true. Everybody has been saying that. And the man who invented it is a genius. Literally, he has been tagged a genius, certified. He invented this. Steve Brown, the CEO, actually rode in the vehicle. However, the unit was 3 by 4 feet big and had to be towed in the back. But it did keep the vehicle going. Now, they've been working on it, and it's a lot smaller now. And ideally, they're trying to get it down to the size of a shoebox to fit into a car. So what is that going to be worth? Man, I'm thinking Tesla killer. If you never need to charge your car, which car would you buy? A Tesla or an Apogee? Apogee. I'd buy the Apogee. So, the 8K says that they now have $10 million of an Equiline credit that they can use at their discretion. And notice how big this is, folks. See how small that is? You can read that in a heartbeat. All this top stuff here is just the rules they're obeying, and then under that big bold line will be your information. On September 27th, 2021, HPIL Holdings entered in a $10 million equity line of credit where the company can draw down at its own discretion, and they need this money to move these projects forward. Now let's take a look at the company so you can see what they're about. Like I said, they are at 004. It's a brilliant price. They have been going through some turmoil. I don't understand it. They're on the verge of going current, and the price has not lifted up. Like I said, I got this at 0006. I wrote it to just over a penny, but folks, I'm not getting out of this. I didn't think it was going to fall, and it fell hard. Fell hard. So we're back down. We've lost over 60% to our highs, but I expect it to go way past a penny with a car that never runs out of power and never needs to be charged. I just can't imagine what that is worth. So what sort of volume did they do today? Less than normal, only 153 million compared to daily 238. How many shares have they got? Too many. They had 200 billion, cut it down to 60 billion. There is 14 billion on the market, and most of those are in the float at about 12 billion. Don't count on that, folks. That ain't right. I assure you. I know. So let's go take a look at the chart so you can see what we're talking about. So you can see HPIL is looking a little dismal right now, which makes for an opportunity. Think about what they've got, honestly. So she is down here. She hit a low down here at 0038 for this time period, and she is pretty much just going sideways. Now, I'm not expecting a serious run. I'm just telling you that this company has now got money to start moving forward. The other day, they just put all the subsidiaries under the one umbrella. They are moving forward, not at an extremely fast rate, but again, I am looking at new tech, a vehicle that never needs to be charged. And in case I didn't mention it, he has got 8 to 10 other companies to help build this car, to bring things in it like maybe hemp panels, which are 10 times stronger than steel. Maybe, I don't know, but he's looking for green energies to add into this car. So it's going to be exciting. And I guarantee you a penny is not where this thing is going to stop. So it did run all the way up to that penny, like I said, just over it, hit it a second time, and is now down here. So obviously from 004 to a penny is only 100% gain. You can see I'm spoiled. 100% gains. But I expect this stock to go and go and go. When they have a patent on an item that everybody else says is impossible, somebody isn't paying attention. And a stock that holds something as magnificent as an EV that never needs to be plugged in, think of all the businesses that would go out. If you never needed to charge your cars, would you need any of those stations around or recharging units? Would you need them at home? Lithium batteries are out the door. You don't even need hydrogen. I don't know how far this can go, but it's amazingly disruptive. And I see it as being an opportunity. So I'm going to put this on the list. You may want to put this on your list. I'm not saying it's going to run tomorrow, but I see this as a runner. 10 bagger, easy. I see this going to 10 cents, which 5 cents is actually a 10 bagger. I see it hitting 10 cents. As soon as we go current, I think the optimism is going to fly through the roof on this. Just my opinion. Now, I do want you to take notice I have kept NSGY in the list. I have also kept TGMR. These are the expert markets. We're waiting to go current. It should happen anytime, but you're literally going to have to be there to make your trade when they go on the market. Not the day, but the minute. Maybe 3-5 minutes. You really got to be paying attention to this, folks. It's not going to be an easy play, but for those that catch it, whew, take me to dinner, will ya? I'll celebrate with you. Okay, folks, this was a very hard day for my DD, but that's the way it goes sometimes. All right, we've got a few up there on the list. Let me scoot over here. There you go. Not a bad list. We got a couple that we're carrying over the expert markets. 1,000,000% gainer. Come on, you got to keep that on the list. And even if you don't buy 1,000,000%, will you buy 70,000? I'll sell it to you cheap. Ooh, real cheap. Some of these are going to run tomorrow, maybe. Some of them won't. HPIL. You know, the ones that are going current, we're waiting for a filing. And you need to be over on the OTC market with that little window open because they come up in real time. You have to refresh though and see if HPIL gets current. See if it happens and you could be on top of it. Although it wouldn't hurt on HPIL to be in before they go current. That's got something. They're not a shell risk. The other companies, well, we didn't see a whole lot about them and what they're doing, so it's really tough to say in that ballpark. But we did find a few that are possible 100, 152, 300% gains. Let's not get spoiled. I know it's not thousands, but it's a daily cap. If you could grab that every single day, wouldn't you be happy? All right, folks. I hope I've showed you something new today, someplace to look, something to think about, maybe even a new tech, huh? We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see how these did, and we'll go scooping tomorrow too and see if we can get something better. Again, aren't you glad I'm not dragging you along for all the stuff that isn't worth anything? But still, the more you know, the more you grow. See you, folks.